1st, 2019, Bryant Mayor Alan Scott conducts his monthly scheduled breakfast meeting with the citizens of Bryant at Ashley Park. We join the meeting already in progress.
There's years and years, but our goal is that Alcoa 40 would be a place where people on that Southwest Trail between Little Rock and Hot Springs would get on the trail or stop and rest. So that pavilion will have a bike repair station, bathroom, so that people could use that as they plan their trip on the Southwest Trail. They might stop there. But for local residents, the ability to go anywhere in our park system through that trail, it'll be a huge benefit. So that's long. And then the dream phases 3, 4, and 5 multi-purpose fields at Alcoa 40. We are maxed out with the need for field space, lacrosse, rugby, soccer, and then just residents that want to go
Pee-wee football.
Pee-wee football. So we just keep growing in our need for field space. And then a playground, a really nice playground here that'll be centrally located so that parents, as their kids are here playing, their younger kids can play here. And then finally, again, dream phases, phase 4 or 5 would be an indoor practice facility so that you could rent time to come and hit in the batting cages, or it could also serve as just an infield, but that's way down the line. But there are a lot of projects that we're looking at, and basically, as you know, it comes down to prioritizing and funding. The big one, funding.
Yeah.
But the mayor and city council have been really great at making sure that our parks and the funding of our parks are a priority. They understand how important it is to our community.
I will say one thing about the lights here. As you know, we're surrounded by neighborhood. And some people might say, well, if you put all these lights up and you have these lights, what's it going to do to the surrounding neighborhood? These are kind of a wild, special and a cool little light the way they're designed. They're designed just to illuminate the field area itself. So, and they're an LED type of light, so they will last longer and use much less electricity than any of these lights would ever think about using.
Phase 1 of it this year, right? Okay.
Yes.
Phase
So-
1 starts, has actually
Demo
started.
will start this coming week. We hope to have this park demoed by the end of July because the install of the lights will start sometime in August. I've been told they can install them in 3 weeks, so I'm giving them 8. So by the end of September, the lights should be installed, and that's when we'll come in and do all the new fencing, and then hopefully open the park back up for use end of November. Which I know you say, well, who plays baseball? They play baseball all the time. So,
Around here, baseball's year round.
Yeah.
One thing you said asked about something about Southwest Trail. It's actually in the environmental design stage right now. They're looking at the pathway for the trail, and they're looking at doing the environmentals associated with that path. So they're actually in the process right now of nailing down exactly where the Southwest Trail is going to be. So that'll probably take another year. And then after that, they'll start the construction phase, acquiring right-of-ways or whatever they need to, and start the construction phase. And it'll be in stages. Different areas will be constructed at different times by different entities, because this thing goes through Pulaski County, Saline County, and Garland County, and several municipalities, including Benton, Bauxite. Of course, it'll be Little Rock. It'll terminate in Hot Springs, and some of the trail will be easily constructed, because it'll be like right on the edge of Highway 70, I believe. Some of it's what they're talking about in some areas. Some of it will take a little bit longer. They're trying to utilize all that old railroad bed that they can, because that's a good use for something like that. And it's elevated. It's kind of nice to ride on, I'm going to lie. Unless it is just a railroad track, and then it's not very fun to ride.
One question I do get a lot about this park is bathrooms. Long term, we would the bathrooms will be part of the indoor facility. You'll be able to access them from the outside. But until then, what we're looking at doing is buying a nice portable bathroom trailer. I don't know if you've seen those. They're really nice. And the reason we'd like to do that is we can sit it here throughout the year. But when we need it for major events like Fall Fest or Wally Hall tournament, we could use it at other parks. So that way we can have it here until we get something permanent, but it'll give us that really nice portable facility that we need more than you probably.
I make a motion we do that.
I'm with you.
We're working on it. We're working
I'm
on
with
it.
you. That's pretty much it, I believe, for the updates. Does anybody have questions?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
We live at the corner of Dale and Ridgecrest,
Okay.
right behind Lowe's.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think y'all are working on that bridge that's been there.
There's a couple of trees right by that bridge that we're supposed to start taking down last week, but because of the rain event that happened, they couldn't, and that's slated to start on Monday. And in all honesty, it'll probably damage that bridge, and that'll have to be eventually be replaced.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is
Yeah.
because the bridge, the culvert under the bridge
Yes.
is not big enough to handle
Yes.
all the water that
Yes.
comes through there, so it fills up and then the water.
Yeah.
washes
Because I
across
stopped
our
yesterday,
yard and-
I think it was yesterday morning, I went by there before I went to work because I was wanting to see the trees that they were talking about taking down. Because I'm like, I need some firewood. I'm not gonna lie. And so I was looking at them, like, there's lots of firewood in those two trees. I mean, those
They
are big
nice-
trees.
They are nice trees,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Where
but
they
one
are.
of them's in the path and half the root ball is exposed and it's gonna fall in a bad storm, and
Right.
I don't want it to fall on a house or the street or anything, so we're gonna get it down. But I'm pretty sure they'll wind up damaging that bridge some more. And it is damaged and it does need repairing and replacing right now.
I've got a great video I'll show you.
I bel- Yeah, if you don't mind, if you've got that, I would love for you to email that to me. Anytime you see a flooding of something like that and you have it, feel free to email. Send it to me by email with the address where it's at, because that helps our engineers when they start the design process of and they do the analysis of floods, because they can say, okay, our models are showing this, but I've got this rain event that shows this, and it helps them calibrate those models so we get what we need.
When I bought there in 2004, I wasn't in a flood zone.
Right.
And then they decided I needed to be, so they put me in there about 5 or 6 years ago.
Thank you, federal government, right?
I don't think it'll ever flood to our house.
Right.
And
Well, I
if
hope
the bridge-
not.
If the bridge weren't there, it wouldn't.
Right.
It wouldn't flood as fast as it does now.
Right. Well, I hope not. I hope it never floods.
You'll see the video.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love that. And if I need to give you my email address in a minute, I will.
Right. Right.
And then another problem we have there is the traffic. I mean, those people do not observe the speed limit.
Yes, ma'am. You're right.
And
It's kind of like a short little drag
The
strip.
stop sign is just
Right.
a suggestion.
yeah, and so when it rains, they're going too fast, and they've ended up in our yard several.
you have them rocks there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly right.
I mean, we had a man that was coming up Ridgecrest, and he couldn't stop, and he was afraid of running in the creek, and so he turned up into our yard. And then we've
Oh,
got
they've hit the
people that
creek.
come from Dale that don't stop there, and then they slide around, and
Yeah.
thank goodness the ditch is a little bit deeper now. That's helping.
Yeah.
Those boulders up.
But those boulders, they get caught in that ditch.
Good.
I'm wondering, speed stops or speed breakers along the road, people need to observe that 25 mile.
Yes,
and
ma'am, you're
observe
absolutely
that
right.
Stop sign.
As far as speed bumps or anything like that, in all honesty, the street department is not a huge fan of those because they cause a lot of problems at times. They are a slowing mechanism for sure. I don't know what we can do about that. That's not the only place people speed, unfortunately. In my neighborhood, they do too. Anytime you have We might be able to see about like rumble strips or something like that, you know, is what I call